should the finals be within esports? Well, personally, I think that the finals would be perfect for esports. Here's why. The finals is no doubt a competitive first-person shooter game. There's a real sense of competition when playing the game. You could feel how tense and gripping it could be at certain times. For example, when the cash out is at its last minute and you need to steal it to be able to qualify for the next round. However, all the teams are fighting over it at once, so you have to make a huge play soon, or that's it for you and your team. It's moments like these that make the finals a good candidate for esports. I could picture a crowd of people all holding onto the edge of their seats, hoping that their team qualifies for the next round. I mean, after all, isn't that what makes a game so good for esports? When there's a loyal set of fans who could cheer on their team in hopes of them winning the game? The finals definitely has the potential to have this kind of loyal fan base that will not only enjoy watching the game itself, but will find a team that they love and cheer them on. Honestly, I think that the finals has everything in place it needs for it to be able to be within esports as well. It has everything from a well thought out objective for people to fight over to well designed maps for people to fight within. Not to mention the gunplay within the game is smooth and responsive, the movement is fluid, and the gadgets and specializations play a huge role in how well your team can do. Speaking of teams, that's the most important part of the finals. The fact that it requires a lot of teamwork to be able to do good within the game. This is something that's crucial to be successful within esports. The game has to be able to have a focus on teamwork as people play within teams in esports. So you need the ability for people to be able to team up and work together so that one team could go against another team, or in the finals case, 4 teams going up against 4 teams, at least at the start of the game. Luckily, with the finals having such a huge focus on teamwork within its game, it would be perfect for its esports teams, as they'll have to plan and coordinate really well together to be able to do good. This is something that people enjoy watching when it comes to esports. People want to see a team work well together to dominate over the opposing teams. In addition to everything I've mentioned so far, another reason why the finals should be within esports is because it would be interesting to see what the pro players come up with and use within the game. In every game that's within esports, the people that are playing professionally usually find and declare what's the best stuff to use within the game, as well as come up with the best strategies to use. Obviously, with how good the pros are at the game and how much they play it, they would find and use only the best stuff. This benefits people who would watch the pros play the game, as now they will know exactly what to use within the game if they want to do good and will better understand the game. After all, if anyone should trust the opinion of someone on what to use, it's definitely the pros. Furthermore, if the finals was in esports, then the finals would get a lot more cool cosmetics in the game, as most games that are within esports will put cosmetics in their game for each team that plays professionally for them. So the finals could do the same thing. This would result in cosmetics such as team bundles, which could include skins for your character's clothing, weapon skins, weapon charms, and emotes. I don't know about you, but I'm all for cosmetics in the game, as I love making my character and guns look cool. Plus, all the funds that the bundles would make will not only benefit the esports teams, but the game as well. This way the game can profit more, which means that the company that developed the finals can expand their company more and hire more staff. Obviously, with more staff, that means that there's more people working on the game, which makes the game better because there's more manpower being put into updates for the game and content for the game. So this is another reason why the finals should be within esports. Additionally, the finals would be extremely interesting to watch if it was in esports because of the destruction that can be done within the game. The amount of destruction and the scale that it's at within the finals is something that's never been seen before within a game that's in esports. I think that the destruction that the finals allows for will make for really interesting strategies and plays to watch. For example, let's say a pro player uses the destruction capabilities to blow up the ceiling to bring the cash out down to the floor they're on, and then begins to steal it while their teammates are fighting the enemy team on the floor above. It's plays like this that make for really intense moments that I think will keep people watching engaged. It'll cause people to be amazed at what the pros are able to do within the game and make people want to try out what they watched. Not to mention the destruction within the finals will also shake things up within the arena, which will force pro players to have to make quick decisions, which can lead to some really interesting gameplay to watch as well. You never know what someone is capable of when they're under a lot of pressure. Having a bunch of destruction happening at once can most definitely cause a lot of pressure on someone, and in these moments you can see who truly shines when put under a lot of pressure. This will in return lead to really cool clips from pro players that pull something crazy off, and those clips can be uploaded onto different social medias. With a bunch of cool clips being put onto, for example, YouTube, TikTok, or anywhere else, it'll allow for more people to see gameplay on the finals. This is a good thing because maybe a couple of those people who will see the gameplay will want to check out the game and give it a try. That's another big reason why the finals should be within esports. All the videos and clips from the pro players playing the game can be uploaded onto different social medias, which puts the game out there for more people to see. With more people seeing the game, that leads to more people wanting to try the game out. It goes without saying that the more people trying the game out is a good thing, as it increases the player count, which means there's a bigger pool of people to play against and more people spending money on the game. Also, there's going to be pro players who are going to be creating content on the game as well. That means even more content on the game will get pushed out, which again leads to more people seeing the game and wanting to check it out and play it. The final reason why the finals should be within esports is because it encourages some people to want to become a pro player and make it to that level of being able to play on a team in esports for the finals. This might only apply for a small percentage of people who are really good at the game and take it very seriously, but even if it's only a small percentage of people, that's still some people that have their lives changed forever because they were given the opportunity to play the finals professionally. These people are now able to make a living off of doing what they love. Even if it seems like a small reason why the finals should be within esports for some people, it's an absolutely massive reason for others. In other words, if the finals were in esports, it would inspire and motivate people to want to go pro, and for the people that are actually able to do it, it would change their lives. Plus, for the people that are able to go pro or even semi-pro, they have a lot of knowledge and experience on the finals. This can allow for these people to create content giving advice on the finals, or even giving coaching lessons on how to get better at the finals. This helps out people who are trying to get better at the game, or even trying to go pro someday themselves. Now, I will say, while there's a lot of reasons why I think the finals should be within esports, I can't deny there are reasons why the finals shouldn't be within esports as well. In my opinion, the pros outweigh the cons. But I still will mention a few reasons why the finals shouldn't be within esports. Firstly, some people would argue that if the finals were in esports, then the developers might start listening to the pro players' opinions on the game more than the community's opinions on the game. This can lead to the developers making updates for the game that would cater more towards pro players. This could lead to the pro players being happy about the update, but yet the community won't be so happy about it because the changes made didn't benefit the casual players, but rather just the pro players. Understandably, this would frustrate people and make them not want to play the game, which is not good. A good example of this is, let's say the pro players think a gun is too good and needs to be nerfed, but yet the community feels a different way and actually thinks that the gun is good where it's at. Yet the developers listen to the pro players' opinion on things and decide to nerf the gun. It's situations like this that would make esports have a negative impact on the game. A lot of other games that are within esports have this problem, and it could definitely show sometimes, as the community in other games would get mad at their game of choice for not listening to them when making changes. Another reason why the finals shouldn't be within esports is because the company that made the finals, that being Embark Studios, would have to dump a lot of money into esports related things, and they might not get that money back at all. The reason being is because if the finals doesn't get a lot of attention directed towards its pro scene, then the money that gets put into the events, tournaments, teams, and more might be a waste if those events, tournaments, teams, and more don't make enough money. This would be really bad for Embark Studios, as now they'd be at a loss of funds, and in return they might have to lay off some of their staff and do pay cuts or whatever else. That means that less time and money would get put into the finals as a result of it. With less time and money getting put into the game, it would mean that there's less support for the game. so there would be fewer updates and content for the game. This is all assuming that the finals entering esports fails though, which I don't think would happen, but it definitely is still a possibility. Finally, the last reason why the finals shouldn't be within esports is because some people just don't like when games have a pro scene. It could cause more people to play more competitively because they want to go pro, and all some people want is a casual experience. Given this isn't an opinion that everyone shares, and it's definitely not something that would affect a lot of players. However, it could still be seen as a negative to the finals being within esports to some people. While a lot of these things are definitely valid reasons to why the finals shouldn't be within esports, I honestly think that the pros of the finals being within esports outweigh the cons of the finals being within esports. There's just way more reasons to why the finals should be within esports, at least in my opinion. I think that it would do way more good for the game and the community that plays the game rather than bad. But honestly, at the end of the day, who really knows until the finals makes its way into esports, if it ever decides to do so. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for the finals. In conclusion, I think the finals should be within esports for many reasons. Some of them being that the game has really good gunplay, movement, maps, gadgets, and more that would work really well in a pro level environment. Not to mention, I honestly think that the finals would be really interesting to watch if it were in esports. Also, it would get more people to play the game, as there will be more content being posted on social media because of esports. This would result in more people seeing the game and potentially playing it. Now, unfortunately, some people would say there are some cons to the finals being within esports, such as the developers catering updates to the game based off of the pros' opinions and not the community's opinions, and the fact that putting the finals within esports might not be profitable for Embark Studios, which is the creators of the finals. Personally, I think that there's way more pros to the finals being within esports than cons to the finals being within esports. So I hope that in the near future, the finals can be within esports, as I'd love to watch the pro players play the game and see what their opinions on different stuff in the game are. That's it for me though. What are your opinions on the finals being within esports? Do you want it to happen, or do you not want it to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. And if you want more content like this, then subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.
In the arena, just as the spotlight swings to our winner. Us here at the finals. Thanks for watching.